Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we are going to be talking about 10 games with variable player powers. And we tried to pick ones that we thought were kind of the biggest things that, yeah, usually selecting them or getting them selected at the beginning of the game, and then they allow you to kind of do something unique comparatively to your opponents. Sometimes, yeah, you get to choose from multiple and get to kind of decide how your game is going to be played out. Um, or it's yeah, a lot of a lot of different options in
Yeah.
this one. Let us know in the comments below which games you really like that have kind of variable player powers, various factions, and things like that. And let us know which ones of these you thought were our best picks here. We tried to put them in a good order. We'll see. Maybe people disagree with us. Let us know if you think some should have maybe been higher, or some should have been way lower, or just taken off the list completely. But
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, Pepper, you lead us off with this. This
I,
is only 10 total games. We're not
yeah.
each doing 10, so we kind of came up with these together and put them in somewhat of a decent ranking, I think.
Yeah. Ooh boy. Number 10 is Dwellings of Elder Vale. And this one, as you can see, you have eight different colors, eight different factions, except you don't. You have 16 because those are double-sided pieces of cardboard. So 16 different factions in this one. And each of them pretty much, you have four types of workers, four types of meeples in this game per faction. And each one adds a special ability to two of the meeples. So you can see in this Ember Crush Ogres. They're warriors. Each time your warrior is in a battle, gain one victory point, whether you win or lose. And they're workers, they're regular meeples that you have a lot of. They roll two dice in battle when everyone else's roll just one. So while it's not like it can be game shaping at times, but it doesn't feel like, oh, this is like a totally different thing. I'm playing a different game than you. But you just get to break the rules in just little ways here and there that make everyone else jealous. And then you're jealous of all of their abilities because whatever character can fly or can move three spaces instead of one or something like that. And it's just something, and the amount of them as well, and that they can still feel unique and give you a purpose to go and get your wizard when maybe usually you wouldn't go after that. Maybe you like your warrior. Now you have a reason to go and unlock the wizard instead. So it gets you to play differently as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's maybe one of the biggest things with this one is, yeah, it gets you to maybe, I know I like to usually get my workers out in this game, and sometimes I won't go after, the dragon or the wizard, and yeah, that gets me to sometimes pull the trigger on that because, like, well, this time that one kind of has a cool ability, and maybe I try to go after that, even though I might not always be my favorite one to go after. So, yeah, I think this is a perfect way to do it without might like you said might not feel like you get maybe that big of changes, but it's big enough that it makes a bit of an impact in certain circumstances, I think.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, that is our number 10.
Now you take
But
it away with
going
our
into
number
our
nine.
number 9 here.
Ooh.
Ooh, Planet Unknown. And this one, I think there are kind of two components to this one that you get at the beginning of the game, and you've got kind of your planet board here. You can see various different planets. You can also play this one. You can play without kind of a variable thing, so everyone gets the exact same. But I much prefer this game with the variable planets and the variable corporations, which is this other board with the tracks on it. And I think there are some differences on the corporation boards, and some of them are, I feel like, much more impactful than others. Some of them I think are kind of a little bit more minor than maybe I'd like. But I think these planets can be very, very different, and some of them are much more difficult to play than others. I think
Yeah.
they have like difficulty ratings on maybe both the things. They have like I think flames or something on it to show kind of how difficult the thing can be to do. Because like some planets, it's like you're playing like Tetris; it has to be able to slide into place, so you can't just like lock something into place necessarily. So I like that. Sometimes you I think one of them you can't like go on, what is it, like both sides, or to go on to the other side you have to like hook it via
Oh,
another piece or something
yeah.
like that. Some planets are full of a lot of the ice or water, which is the only way to kind of go up the water track if you're playing those tiles. Yeah, and just very variable. And yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like it really changes the game more than maybe you'd think it would. And yeah, even the corporation boards sometimes. I know some, I feel like a couple of them mess with, especially like the rover. The one I always think of is this rover one that kind of allows you. I feel like there's one that has like maybe lesser rovers or something,
No.
and you get to move it a lot further though, or something like that. But yeah, those do some cool things too. Just maybe not as interesting from the base side, but
Yeah.
the planets definitely are, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And just having two things in one that you can change is really cool.
Right. And they don't necessarily have to. Uh, I think we just kind of deal them kind of randomly. I don't know. I don't actually know what the official thing is if you're supposed to, but how you're supposed to do it. But yeah, it's not like one planet is connected specifically to a corporation. So yeah, it is nice that you can blend all that together.
Yep. And number 8, Santorini. I could see this one actually being higher, but we don't play it that much, so I just don't have as much of a take on it. I do like it a lot. It's kind of a very abstract game, kind of like a chess where you're maneuvering and trying to kind of capture. You're trying to get to the third level of a building pretty much. So you're moving around, placing building, moving on top of building, and maybe capping off buildings so people can't get onto that level, that third level. And so it's a very simple core move set. So when you have dozens of characters that all do unique things like pushing opponents or forcing them to move in a certain way on their next turn or double building or capping off a building before it's at level 3, moving 2 spaces, just all these crazy effects and such a core system where just it's so easy, it seems so easy to win. Just get to level 3. Like if you're changing the game this much with each player power, that's a huge impact. And to really see the unique combinations that you can have one against the other and see how the match shapes up, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I really wonder how I would like this one now, years later after, yeah, it's been quite a while since I've played this one. And yeah, initially, I think you're a little bit better than me at these kind of chess-like games, even with these kind of variable player powers that kind of break the rules a little bit. But I think these are definitely needed in a game like this. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it gets maybe too chessy, but I think they still keep it feeling like not like totally crazy. It doesn't make it
Yeah.
doesn't change the feeling of the game, but it does add this fun element of, ooh, I'm able to do this cool thing that they can't do.
Yeah.
And it just kind of yeah, makes it that little bit of difference that makes the game fun every time you play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious how I would feel playing it these years later. And now that I've played some other games too, if I would maybe enjoy it a little bit more. I know sometimes I have come back to games and I'm like, I actually enjoyed that a lot more than I remembered liking it originally. So yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder if this would be one of those for me.
I think it's on Board Game Arena. We might have to give
No,
it a
yeah,
try. I
yeah.
wonder how many of these they have in there. They have the
Nope.
expansions and stuff.
No,
But
that's true.
yeah, they got so many of these. And Planet Unknown, I don't know if that has a ton of them as well. I don't know how they come up with so many unique things.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But number seven.
Number
Ooh,
7. Ooh.
seven. Scythe. And yeah, this one. Now we go to a game that I like that maybe Pepper doesn't like as much, but maybe he's also got to try this one out again. And yeah, this is a fun one because yeah, at the beginning you are picking kind of that faction that will allow you to do kind of some cool things, and then as you get kind of your mechs off, they kind of allow you to do additional cool things. Because yeah, you have your original power, I think, and then you have slightly different kind of similar, but I think kind of different as well, what the mechs can unlock potentially. And then you get the other part of your board. So it's another
Yeah.
thing where you're kind of getting two separate things. And this game though can have some, whereas Planet Unknown, I don't know if I feel kind of the maybe synergies as much between the boards. I feel like this one can definitely have those, and that's why I think some people have even banned some combos because they just work together really, really well. Whereas there's probably some that work together really, really terribly as well.
Yeah.
So it's like you could get some really bad combination, but I think it just keeps the game fresh and feels fun because it's like, oh, this time I'm gonna maybe have to focus on upgrades or something or building the different monuments and stuff because or building all my mechs because it gives me more coins to do that action. And in this game, you're really just trying to get those coins, which are essentially points at the end of the game. So, yeah, you can see kind of on the bottom of that board, the one gives you 3 coins, and then 2 coins, 1 coin. That one
Okay.
action doesn't give you any, so it's as a secondary piece to it anyway, and that can kind of deter you from you know do I want to do that action that much? Because if I do, I'm not really gaining a bunch of points from doing it. So it
Yeah.
kind of gives you a little bit of a something to focus on too right away. So I always like when a faction kind of gives you something to focus on. So it's kind of one of those things. If you're introducing a new player, you can be like, well, maybe generally a little better to try to get this one activated a few more times than maybe some of your other actions. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love it inside and love the combos that you can get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta try that one again for sure. Oh boy. What's your favorite faction off the top of your head right
Oh boy. Off the top of my head, which one did I use? I think it was the one where the lady has like the bird, the falcon. The Crimea? I don't remember the names. I don't remember the names, Pepper. You got me off guard,
Oh
but
boy.
it's that one, whatever that one is. I think
Okay.
that was one I was really having a good time with when we
Okay.
did the Rise of Fenris campaign.
Yeah. Good pick. Maybe I don't know that. I don't know what the faction. It's probably a terrible pick for all I know. Number 6 is Gloomhaven. Ooh, I like the scoundrel in this one. I have history. You have only played as the brute, I think, so far, which is pictured here, and we're playing Gloomhaven Digital. We're kind of in the middle of a campaign of that. And yeah, there's a lot of different factions or races that you can go with in here and kind of retire them and then unlock new ones. So it's not like you're stuck with one throughout the whole campaign, but you can probably meander on your retirement goal a little bit to upgrade them. And I think that is one of the things that sets this apart is that not only do you get kind of your unique skill set based in your cards and how what you're good at. If you're someone who wants to just tank and take all the damage or sneak up and maybe you're like a wizard type thing and you're moving people around or doing spells and putting effects onto enemies or maybe you're just going up and whacking the enemies. And of my two characters, of the scoundrel and I forget, it's like the little guy and the beast. We named him Taki and Forklift. But he's got the bear sidekick, and I'm like both of those have felt extremely different in how I play the game. And if all of them, and your brute plays pretty dang
Mhm.
different as well. And I'm just looking at some of your cards when I look on your screen. I'm like, oh, those are some cool cards, and I know that you think the same way of my cards, and I'm looking forward to exploring more of them. It's really something unique, and upgrading your attack decks are also customizable based on your character. So much to this.
Yeah, I love it right from the start when you don't even have those upgrades, the differences that you've got there. But then, yeah, the fact that throughout the game you can change them, get even more unique, kind of focus on even more things. Uh, yeah, just makes for a really fun one. I didn't really, this one was more of a pepper pick. I did not initially think of this, but yeah, once you said it, it made a lot of sense to me that they do feel very unique in this game. And yeah, I think it's what keeps the game from maybe feeling like, oh, well, we've got three characters. I suppose it's more of like based in the D&D kind of thing, because
Yeah.
from my understanding, I have not played much D&D. And by that, I mean like one or two sessions. But from my understanding, you do not want a group of all the same type. I think you want kind of like you said, like that brute and the person, I want to say magician, but with
Pick a card.
a card, any card, the jester, whatever you want to call the bard, who knows? But yeah, so I think that comes through in Gloomhaven.
Yeah. Ooh, but does it come through in your number five? Ooh.
Ooh, small world,
I
and
have not played this game, but
yes,
you.
so this is all on me if I'm wrong, people. But I have not played this one that many times either. I've really actually wanted to get this one back to the table because the last time I played it, which actually wasn't that long ago, it's probably longer than I think now, but feels like it was within the last year after not playing it for many years. I was like, oh wow, that's a great game. I don't know why we don't play that a little bit more. But yeah, in Small World, you are kind of creating your own faction. You could say it's kind of similar to those other ones where you're putting two things together, but in this one, you are actually joining them together and you're making a certain faction that has some ability. So you kind of have two different abilities coming together and creating one uh, new faction. So each game you could have very different ways, even these individuals, like the humans or the dwarves, they're going to have different things they're combined with in different games. So they can be played very differently from game to game. And it makes it really exciting because yeah, some of those combos I feel like I remember being like really strong feeling, and it's just like I don't know how you're supposed to take that out.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because yeah, like you haven't played this one, Pepper, but you'll start with one faction and then eventually, so you can see those numbers on there. I believe that's how many of that faction you start with. So you'd have like four and three for the commando dwarves. So you'd get seven dwarves that you'd put out throughout your turns, you'd be putting them out on the map, spreading them out, kind of gaining coins or victory points by doing that. But then other people are going to maybe come in and kill off your dwarves, and then you'll eventually they'll go extinct, or you'll kind of retire them and open up a new faction. I think you get like two
Uh,
can be going on at once, so you'll be changing that even throughout the game. So it's not even like once you pick one, you're stuck with those throughout the whole game. So you're constantly combining these cool things together and seeing how they kind of play out. And yeah,
yeah.
once I saw this one, when I was looking through my plays, my board game app of my plays, I was like, ooh, I think this is a solid pick, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments below if you totally disagree. If you're like, I've played Small World 100 times and this is a terrible pick. But I feel like this is a good one as I saw it. And maybe it deserved to go up even higher, but it
Yeah.
was tough because I'm like, Pepper hasn't played it, so I don't have anyone to confirm whether or not it actually is. So I thought five would be a good spot for it.
Yeah, it sounds good. How complicated would you say the game is? 'Cause I'm like, oh, that sounds complicated. But
It
it's Eighth
isn't
of
that
Wonder, so
complicated.
it must
I
not
think
be.
it only has like 4 pages of rules or something, if I
Oh,
remember it.
nice.
So I think it's pretty simple.
I gotta try that one. I gotta try that. We're trying that. I will play it, hopefully, by the end of the hour.
Oh boy.
Number four.
If anyone's watched any of our videos before, they know that is not true. Like these guys have at least another 3 hours of rambling to do.
Dang right. Number four. Oh, speaking of rambling for hours, Tapestry. Side note: we made a first impression. Just a quick first impression video. We did that for the Arts and Architecture expansion, and it was never posted because we rambled on for 45 minutes. It's an expansion. It just adds a few extra things, but we found a way.
We found a way.
To be fair, that adds quite a bit. So, I mean,
That's true. Board game ramblers, we're coming after you.
that's right. But Tapestry is kind of used to be, and probably still is, one of the ones that I first think of when I think of a unique faction or player power, player ability in the civilizations. You also have your own map is your capital city, and which is kind of for your player power. But that civilization having dozens and dozens of them, like 30 of them, or how many at this point, and then maybe double because we reworked them and fixed them. So now you have two times as many, and we're gonna have to get those and play them against each other. Need to see that happen. But yeah, each one feels unique. They don't feel equal. There's definitely some matchups and player counts that favor or don't favor at all certain factions, but it's just a treat every game to be like, okay, which one do I want to try now? Which experience, what feeling do I want from this game? Do I want something? Do I want to go the futurist and just do something wild and jump 4 spots ahead on each of the tracks and just have I would think. I don't know how many times I've actually started with them. I've drew them in the middle of the game multiple times, but I don't know how often I've started with them. But I'm like, that's got to be a totally different feeling. And the militants, like, are one of the straightforward, tell you how to play your game ones, where it's like you're gonna go, you're gonna conquer the map. And yeah, there's so many at this point, and even some of the recent ones, like they're like some of my favorite ones. So they just keep getting better and better. And yeah, this one of our favorite games, and I think that is one of the biggest reasons.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And yeah, I'll be interested to see, because I do have the revised civs, but I honestly do not know which one. I know everyone else not big fans of it not matching up. We didn't really care about that as much, and but I am interested to see which ones it all ended up changing once they printed them because I feel like there are some that I would say are like less fun to play or
Yeah.
a little less interesting. So I hope it was, mostly those kind of ones that they changed up and made them a little bit more interesting, a little bit
Mhm.
more like, oh, you know what? Now I want to try that one
Yeah.
because, yeah, I think initially they were like the revisions were, oh, start with one extra resource or something, and it's like, okay, well, I feel like when they did that, they didn't really have a good grasp of how much a resource actually was, because
Yeah.
sometimes it was like, okay, that totally changes and messes up everything in the whole thing, because,
Yeah.
um, yeah, depending on when you're ending your eras and stuff, oh, it comes in. But yes, this is great.
Yeah. These might actually be the revised ones in
It
this.
looks like that first one
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, the Alchemists, and they'll have like a little rating at the top, it looks like too. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
must be difficulty. Yeah.
yeah.
There we go. And number three. It's funny
Gonna
how they
shock you.
line up to be games that you like to talk about. So,
Oh yes, this one is Root, and yeah, I'm kind of torn on this game because did end up selling all my root stuff because it just was not getting played, and I was like, if I'm gonna play it, probably be on the app. It's just this one, the factions are so variable, and I couldn't convince Pepper to put this one higher because I don't. I think he's fine with the game. I don't think he hates the game or anything, but it's not his favorite. But this one, the factions that you have are so variable that you really need everyone to learn their faction, understand their faction. Unlike a lot of these other games where you still do have to learn the faction, like the civs, if we're talking about Tapestry that we just talked about. But it's that was a lot easier to teach someone, or they just read through what the civs can do, and boom, they're only takes them a couple minutes. Whereas these can be quite different, and it's not even like you can just, like
yeah.
in Tapestry, at the end of the day, if you wanted to, you can still kind of follow along with what other people are doing, kind of just
Yep.
mimic them a little bit. This one, it's not necessarily the case. This is very, very different. Uh, it makes it very fun. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it also makes it very difficult to teach new people because they are very different. But I think that's what makes Root great is these factions feel like all sorts of different kind of powerful. Sometimes it'll
Yeah.
be like, well, this doesn't seem very powerful, but then it's like, well, that's because now you kind of have to check the ones that do feel powerful to kind of keep them in check, I should say. And then maybe you, if you're thought of as kind of the weak one, you kind of keep sneaking, and all of a sudden, no, now you're the threat. And yeah, I just love what that does in the game, and if you get the expansions and stuff, I think there's a ton of different ones you can get, kind of similar to Tapestry. They just kept kind of adding these factions. I don't even know if this game is complete yet. I don't know if they've ever said that, so I'm sure they will just keep coming up with more. It is their cash cow after all, I think.
Yeah,
So yeah, and I think it does continue to make the game interesting,
yeah.
but they just didn't make enough factions that played really, really well at two players. So that
Mhm.
is why it had to go.
They need root duel. Come on.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's coming, baby.
yeah. You can't deny it. Can't deny the variability of this one. Um, And then we go to pretty much the polar opposite, I think, of that one, where that one is like you gotta study and invest into learning your own faction. Or Pandemic, I think, is like maybe the greatest kind of introduction to variable player powers, where it's just like, oh, here's your card. It's already a cooperative game, so you can kind of help people along. It's like, oh, here's your card. You get to build a building for free, or you get to trade a card for free. You don't have to be in the specific location. You can just give or take cards freely without that requirement. And all of them just do this like little rule breaking little bonus that is usually tied to one of the basic actions that you have. And it just makes you feel like I have this special power. I'm providing this to the team in this game, and it makes you feel needed in the game. And I think that that is a great addition to an already great game. I think this kind of probably doubles the greatness. It makes it that much better having these special powers.
Yeah, I think this is a great way to make this game feel unique, special. Make it the special game that it is because yeah, if everyone had just the same,
Yeah,
you can move, you can cure, you can trade cards if you're on the same space. If it was just all the basic stuff, it could still be maybe a decent game, but
yeah,
it would not be the beloved game that it is with these very, very simple yet very effective player powers. And yeah, it is a great example of how to do player powers. And like you said, cooperative. So even if people kind of forget or like, oh, what does this do? When it's cooperative, it makes it
yeah,
very much more approachable to do variable player powers as opposed to like Root. Like if Root would have been a cooperative game, then it's kind of like, okay, you can help them and it makes sense. Like, oh, what cards do you have and kind of thing. But yeah, like this one has, and yeah, this is a great pick, Pepper.
yes,
Great pick.
the granddaddy of variable player powers. Yes,
I was, folks, I was trying to push for Subterra, but I think Pepper's right. I think it makes a bigger impact in this game. I think it makes a bigger impact in Pandemic.
I think so. But go check out, well, I don't even know if Subterra is alive anymore, but go check it out. And it's a decent game as well. Very similar.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
with
but what's our number one? Any guesses,
num
people? Any
yeah,
guesses?
leave in the comments below your guesses for number one most variable player power game. You got 5 seconds, 4 seconds, three, two, one. Oh boy.
Ooh, unmatched, baby. Unmatched. And
Look at all those.
I could see people arguing that maybe this doesn't quite fall into this category, but I don't care. I don't care. You are wrong. You're wrong. Because, yeah, this one, every player, every character in here is unmatched. Yeah, they all feel unique. They have their special abilities that tend to make sense with the character that they are. I think they pretty much all make sense. Some might feel kind of similar to others, but I feel like somehow, even with all these characters, they've made them feel unique, which is pretty
Yeah,
impressive at this point because there is a huge roster of
yeah.
different characters here. And yeah, some people might say maybe they might put I was gonna say Game Throne. What's it called? Pepper.
Dice Throne.
Dice Throne. Dice Throne. Some people might put Dice Throne up as their favorite, and sure, if you like that one, if you prefer that one, sure. But I much prefer Unmatched to that garbage Dice Throne. Uh, coming after you. And yeah, just the picking your characters, especially if you have a lot of the options. That is probably the problem with this type of game is uh, if you just get one box of it, the most you could have then is four playable characters. So that's where maybe it would lose a little bit, but I blessed enough to have a majority of this roster here,
Mm.
and just being able to kind of pick whatever I'm feeling at the time is just a lot of fun, and it just starts me off like, oh yes, this time I'm gonna play Squirrel Girl and use my squirrels to my advantage, and kind of see how it plays out, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Can make it big battles. You can make kind of unique situations where it's like, oh, I'd like to match up. I can't even think of anything. The T Rex and Alice from Wonderland.
Ooh.
Or, we've got the Unmatched Adventures now. So now a cooperative version of
Yeah.
it and taking on the Mothman or the aliens. It's kind of can make it a whole cinematic thing.
Yeah,
But
it is unmatched in this list. I mean, the whole idea of the game is different characters fighting.
yes,
Like that's the core of the game. Nothing else could be number one.
right. Yeah. I don't think so anyway.
Yeah.
But let us know in the comments below if you disagree. I'm sure there are people that are going to disagree on it. And maybe if you provide good enough explanation as to why you disagree, maybe I can accept that. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for me to accept that this does not deserve to be number one. But yeah, let us know otherwise which games you would have put on this list, which ones you agree with, which ones should have been higher, which ones maybe should have been dropped. But otherwise, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for future videos like this, and as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.